Today we shall be doing how to create a Cif ID for retail customers, that is customer information file for retail customers. So we have these various options. I'll take you to the screen when we enter the Finacle system, where we have to type, where we have to enter. So first is retail Cif ID means that is for individuals. New entities helps create a contact, customer, prospects and non-customers. The non-customers, those who are not customers, for them also we can create a Cif ID. Prospect, who can be a customer in future, and customer who is opening an account with us. Next option is entity queue, enforces the verification and approval features of CRM to approve or reject or close the retail entity. Edit, if you want to modify any record of the contacts, any mobile number, email IDs of the customer, we can do that. Operations, before opening the Cif ID we have to do dedupe check. That means if he is already having an Cif ID with the bank. Blacklist, if he is on the blacklist of the RBI, whether he is a defaulter of any loan. Negative checks, that is done by the bank. Or find a suspended entity if the entity has been suspended earlier also. So we'll go to the next screen, retail Cif creation. For creation of retail customers, the user has to first log in the CRM module, and in the functions tab select Cif retail. So CRM, you can see here, it's typing it up here, CRM, then enter here. This screen comes up here, opens up here. Left hand side you can see Cif retail. So these are the various options here, Cif corporate and Cif retail. The next screen is, then you have this audit trail. On expanding the Cif retail folders, these sub functions get displayed as below: audit trail, entity queue, new entity, operations, relationship managers, maintenance. So here you can see you have this. When you click on this Cif retail, you have these various subheads: audit trail, edit entity, entity queue, new entity, operations and relationship management. On selecting the function new entity, the following screens get displayed. So here you can see contact, QDE, customer, create, non-customer, prospect, QDE. So next screen comes on this here. So this will be the screen when you open the account. You can see here that this is customer ID that will be generated after we have entered all these fields here, like gender, first name, last name is mandatory, title Mr., Mrs. or master, last name. Then all these fields marked with asterisks are compulsory and this mandatory. Short name, you can type any short name. Any preference name you can choose here. Date of birth, here this is selector where you can click on this and you'll populate it with the various years and dates and months. Then we have this minor indicator, whether customer is minor or not. If he is a minor, then we have to enter the guardian's details of his here. Staff, whether he is a staff. Primary sole ID will be automatically populated with the branch for which the account is being opened. You can select from this search icon also. Then segment. We have these various segments like retail, corporates, and then sub-segment automatically will be populated here. And I'll take you to the next screen. So here you can see, so all these marks, purge allowed, no. By default it has to be no, because any Cif ID, if a customer closes his account, we have to retain, we don't have to destroy his Cif details, all our data that is entered in the system, because in case of need, if a customer comes back, he can open the account. Then e-banking details, whether he requires or not, so you can choose that accordingly. Then relationship start date, so this will be the date of the account opening. Preferred, native language, it will be by default in Fang language, that is the language of the Infosys. So when you go down, customer creation process involves obtaining details about the customer under 4 various different heads, such as general details, demographic details, psychographic details, and other bank credit card details. So this is how the Cif Retail ID is created: new entity, customer details, general details. So you have to fill in all those fields. So this I have shown you here, the contact details. So you click here. So what are his contact numbers, mobile numbers, you can enter here. Now this is the next screen where you type the addresses, mailing addresses, whatever addresses, format, whatever structured. So structured, all the fields are structured accordingly, right? Then house number, all these fields which are marked with red strict are compulsory, right? So country, India. So we have this search icons where you can click on this, write I, so all the countries with I will be populated. City, if it is Bangalore, you click on this search icon and you type BANG, the Bangalore will be, so you have to select accordingly. Then start date, that will automatically be the today's date, right? Opening of the account. So these are the various fields you can see here. So I'll be discussing in detail and I'll telling you how we have to open these accounts, right? Address subtotal, which can be either of a mailing, or work, or home. Future address can also be noted here. Address format could be either structured or free format. So free format, you can type anything. Structured means house number, lanes, that are, so generally we choose structure. Cell number, telex, work, home, we have to add these here. So next field is this email details. We can have his email IDs entered here. Identification documents, whatever, when you click drop down here, you get document type. If it is Aadhaar, it is voter ID card, PAN card, whatever it is. Document code, automatically that will populate here. Unique ID, you have to type the whatever ID proof we are taking, we have to type the identification number here. Then country of issue, so generally it will be, mostly it will be India by default. We have to choose India here. And details of the identification documents being obtained are captured under the sub tab identification documents details in the general details. So here currency details, the currency INR, this will be percentage, currency credit, this all be populated, whatever it is coming as 0%, it will be populated here. You just have to type INR because we are opening accounts in INR only, not in foreign currency. Currencies in which customer can open accounts, transact are to be defined under the sub tab. Unless the currency is defined at the customer level, accounts cannot be subsequently for the customer specified currency. So these are the various, so you can see here general details, demographic, then psychographic, then other bank or credit card details. The general may you have this basic tab, contact details, identification, documents details, currency, and household Cif IDs. If you have to create that also, that is also here. Household. The creation of household name to which account of customers to be identified with is done under this tab. Initially, the household name is created using create or link household tab. Subsequent accounts can be linked using link household tab here. So the options we have learned is Cif Retail, new entity, customer, demographic details. So here you can see marital status, whether he is married, nationality. So these two fields are mandatory, rest are not mandatory, and you can fill it up like caste, if it is available, mailing, registered, preferred, whatever is the mailing preferred is here. You can enter it here. Qualification details also we have to add in here, and employment details, whether he is working or doing business. Income and expenses, so we can gross income, whatever is the employment type. The drop down method, so you can get these fields. So here it is, psychographic details. You have this, any hobby is there, so we can write it here, music or anything, calligraphy, whatever hobbies he is having, we can enter it here. The various heads which the psychographic information is obtained are individual profile, preferences details, segmentation, relationship details, product and credit bureau preferences, transaction plan and assets, individual profile or preferences details. So these are the details of psychographic details. Hobbies and interests of the customers and the preferences for campaigns are noted in the tab below. So finally, KIF ID will be created and it has to be verified by the checker, and who will be visiting all these fields and ensuring whatever data has been filled by the customer is